Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the podcast where we take that stack of source material you've got and we really pull out the essential stuff, give you that shortcut to being genuinely well-informed.
Right.
And today, oh boy, we are wrestling with a question that I think just drains the world's energy every single afternoon.
What's for dinner?
Exactly. What is for dinner?
Yeah.
So we dove into this really interesting resource. It's basically an overview, kind of a script for a tool called Everyday Nutrition.
Right.
And it's not like a fancy cookbook. It's positioned more as a behavioral solution for all that stress around getting food on the table.
Yeah.
I mean, the source really points out this painful thing. Most people, they're just overwhelmed. Too many choices, intimidating ingredient lists.
Yeah, just no time or mental energy, right?
Yeah, exactly. It makes the whole thing feel so complicated.
And that mix, well, it leads straight to what you might call analysis paralysis. It's when the healthy option feels hard. The easy one, like takeout or something processed, it just wins out almost every time.
Right.
So this source, it's not just describing an app, it's laying out a psychological strategy, really, a way to bypass that paralysis.
Okay.
So our mission today, I guess, is to kind of find the structure underneath it all, the scaffolding, you could say. That makes this tool promise to be a real shortcut to eating well consistently.
Okay, let's unpack this. So starting off, let's look really closely at who this is for. Because the source material, it's super specific.
Yeah, it is.
They call out three main groups: seniors, caregivers, and busy families.
And when you see that list, it just clicks, doesn't it?
Totally. You immediately get why those groups.
I mean, these are the people operating on the absolute thinnest margins.
Right.
For seniors, maybe it's physical challenges, complex cooking is just exhausting, or big grocery trips are tough. And for caregivers, busy families, it's purely time and mental bandwidth. You just don't have the, what do they call it, cognitive switching costs.
Oh, right. That mental effort of stopping one thing, thinking about dinner, planning, shopping, then starting this whole new complex cooking thing.
Exactly. It's too much friction.
Yeah, that moment you have to ask yourself, wait, do I even have sumac? And where did I put the peel? That's the moment dinner just kind of implodes for these folks.
Precisely. And the source material, it seems designed to just eliminate that friction. It's not just giving you recipes, it's acting as a week-at-a-glance meal planner.
Okay, that's a key phrase, week at a glance.
It's a critical difference.
Yeah.
Because it shifts the decision-making, right? Away from that frantic, 5 p.m. panic to a calm, maybe once-a-week thing. It acknowledges that the biggest hurdle often isn't knowing what's healthy. It's the sheer weight of making another decision every single day.
Decision fatigue. And their big promise, keep it simple, healthy, affordable, that hits all the main stress points for those groups, doesn't it?
Directly.
Okay, but now.
Yeah.
Now we get to the core mechanism. This is where I think it gets really interesting. This kind of radical feature designed to just cut through all that complexity.
Yeah, this is where you see the cleverness and the structural design to deal with that feeling of too many ingredients, too much stuff. The system puts this radical limit in place. So every week, users get 7 meal ideas. That's pretty standard.
Okay, one a day. Makes sense.
But here's the kicker. The absolute crucial rule, the heart of the whole strategy.
Yeah.
Every single recipe uses 3 ingredients or less.
Hold on. 3 ingredients. That sounds, well, almost impossible. Doesn't that just kill the flavor or, I don't know, the nutrition balance? You're saying a nutrition app is built around only 3 items per meal.
It's a fair question, definitely. And it forces you to think about the psychological power of setting limits, of constraint.
Okay.
The system is basically betting that simplicity, if you actually do it consistently, is way better for you nutritionally than some super complex thing you try once and then just give up on.
Consistency over complexity.
Exactly. And if you look at it from a cognitive science angle, the number 3 pops up all the time, right? Rule of 3. It's kind of the limit for easy recall, easy processing. So by forcing this limit, the app guarantees some immediate wins. Shopping is super fast, prep is minimal, and this is key, almost 0 food waste.
Okay, I really see the genius in the waste reduction part. That's huge. If you only buy 3 things for that meal.
Right.
You're not left with, half a weird tub of creme fraiche or some sad bunch of cilantro wilting in the fridge, making you feel guilty every time you open it.
Precisely. It totally reframes the stuff you already have, what the source calls your pantry and freezer heroes.
Right, I saw that phrase.
It makes them assets, not problems.
Hmm.
Your success isn't judged by how fancy the meal looks. It's judged by how fast you got something decent on the plate.
And the source material seems pretty careful to show that this limit, this three-ingredient thing, doesn't automatically mean boring food. You mentioned variety, right? The examples like chicken piccata-ish.
Yeah, Ish is
Hey.
doing a lot of work there.
Huh, yeah. And smoothie breakfasts, hearty sandwiches. It suggests they're going for the essence of the dish, the main flavor profile, without needing, 12 steps and 20 ingredients.
It's like abstraction, but for the sake of actually making dinner happen.
Mhm.
You get the flavor hit, the dopamine, without the huge effort cost.
Mm.
And the whole process mirrors it. It's structured around threes. Open the app, pick the meal, follow 3 simple steps.
Constant reinforcement.
Yeah, it's always reinforcing simplicity. It lowers the activation energy needed to even start cooking. The whole strategy seems to be lower the bar so much that it's actually harder to fail than to succeed.
So the goal isn't like making a gourmet meal every night. It's just
Right.
consistently getting a reasonably healthy meal done with minimal fuss.
And that takes us really nicely into the philosophy behind the tool. Let's shift gears a bit from the recipe logistics
Okay.
to the actual mindset they're trying to build. The source puts it really clearly. Good nutrition isn't about perfection. It's about consistency, confidence, and care.
Wow, yeah. That quote really lands because it pushes back so hard against, well, a lot of modern diet culture, doesn't it? Which seems obsessed with complexity and novelty and this impossible idea of perfection.
Totally.
And when you inevitably fail at being perfect, what happens? You burn out, you feel guilty, you slide back to old habits.
That's the exact cycle this seems designed to break. Complexity often leads to burnout, right? And burnout kills consistency.
Uh-huh.
So by focusing on consistency and confidence, the app is aiming for like long-term sustainable change. It's telling the user, look, you don't need to be a 5-star chef.
Yeah.
You just need to feed yourself, feed your family reliably. It frames it as an act of self-care achieved through making things simpler.
I like the focus on confidence, too. That's smart.
Yeah.
Because confidence, well, it comes from actually doing something successfully again and again.
Right.
And if the task only has 3 steps and 3 ingredients, your odds of success are, like, super high.
Yeah.
And that success builds confidence, which then makes you want to be consistent. It's like a positive feedback loop, all built on reducing friction.
And if you zoom out, look at the bigger picture. This strategy really reframes what success even means in the kitchen. Success isn't, tracking every single macro or following some complicated detox that needs 7 weird new things every day.
Right.
Success is just cutting down the daily hassle so much that you consistently pick the healthier home-prepped meal over that maybe expensive high-stress takeout option.
Yeah.
And the source reinforces that with those taglines. Dinner made easy, health made simple.
It feels empowering, actually, because it tells people they kind of already have what they need. Enough time, enough skill, maybe even enough ingredients already sitting there.
Exactly, those pantry and freezer heroes.
Right. They don't need some massive pantry makeover or a 2-hour cooking class. They just need structure, constraint.
And that constraint, especially focusing on using what you have, those shelf-stable things, that also tackles the cost issue directly.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Complex recipes often mean buying exotic stuff or things that go bad quickly, drives up the grocery bill, and kind of ironically increases food waste.
Which cancels out the healthy parts sometimes.
For sure. The 3-ingredient rule naturally keeps the cost down and predictable.
Okay, so let's try and synthesize this deep dive. Looking at this everyday nutrition resource overview, the core insight really seems to be about tackling decision fatigue and achieving consistency through, well, radical strategic simplification.
Hyper-simplification.
Right. By forcing that 3 ingredients or less rule, they basically solve the psychological roadblock, that analysis paralysis, especially for those high-stress groups.
Yeah.
Seniors, caregivers, busy families.
Yeah. The whole strategy basically proves that if you dramatically lower the bar for what success looks like, the chances of building sustainable, healthy habits go way, way up. It's a really powerful lesson in, behavioral design.
It really is.
And for those of you listening who might be thinking, maybe this hyper-simplified approach could work for me, the source does give specific info on how to check out their free plan.
Yeah, they mention a portal address. It's samf-portal.web.app.
Right. That's SAMF, samfportal.web.app. But before we wrap up, let's circle back to that philosophy bit we talked about.
Okay.
That idea that consistency, confidence, and care matter more than perfection.
Yeah.
The success here comes from applying these strict limits to a really high-friction part of daily life, right? Dinner.
Yeah.
So that kind of raises a bigger question for you, for the listener. If boiling dinner down to 3 ingredients and 3 steps can solve such a major source of stress,
Yeah.
where else? Where else in your life, maybe your budget or your workout routine or even how you manage your phone notifications? Where else could you apply a radical, maybe 3-part constraint to get more well-being, more consistency, more confidence?
That's definitely something to chew on. Maybe while making your next 3-ingredient meal. Thanks for joining us for the deep dive.